And at this point, we've finally arrived at the Chief Financial Officer's report of the state financial profile.
Talk fast.
Approximately
Fast,
page
okay.
86 or 7. Thank you very much.
I have no question.
The revenue for the month was a little over $600,000. We received special ed reimbursements and transportation reimbursements from the state that were $328,000, so over half the money we received during the month. Real estate taxes accounted for $106,000. Our total revenue for the first 6 months, $11,334,000. We're right at 50% of budget. In terms of looking at the rest of the year, our property taxes in the first half of the year were 4 to 5% over budget. The property tax refunds for the first half of the year were insignificant in comparison to budget. And at this point, the state is making all of the payments on general state aid, special ed reimbursements, transportation reimbursements. I would expect that we're going to end the year on the revenue side at or exceeding budget. Expenditures for the month, the total expenditures were $5.5 million. December is the month where we pay principal and interest on our loans. That was a little over $3 million. And on the capital projects and life safety work that we were doing, we spent $922,000. And on the expenditure side for the rest of the year, we're right at 51% of budget. Again, I'm confident that we're not going to exceed budget on the expenditure side. There were a couple of questions with regard to the revenue. On page 31, student fees for parking shows a negative balance. That's a payment that we made to Brookfield Zoo for the parking that we have to pay for in the south lot that the students actually pay for. During the month of January, we transferred fees into that account, so the balance at the end of January is positive, close to $14,000. And the other question was on page 32. There were a couple items there, special ed orphanage reimbursement and federal special ed reimbursement that are significantly over budget. Most of the money that we've received in both of those accounts is money that actually goes back to last year that the state is paying this year, which is why we're over budget. And we do have some additional money coming in those accounts that should be paid in this fiscal year. But basically, I think you're seeing where we're going to end up at the end of the year. And the other thing that was in your packet was the state financial profile. We receive this once a year from the state. It comes out after we submit our AFR to the state. It measures districts' financial stability. It
Do you know what
measures.
page that is, Tim?
87.
It measures 5 different areas with regard to revenue, expenditures, the amount of cash that you have on hand, short-term and long-term borrowing. The only category that we don't receive the highest score in is long-term debt, and that's because of the bonds that were issued for the building back in 2006 and 2007. But we ended up in the financial recognition category again this year. This is our 4th year in that category. It's the highest of the categories. We received a 3.7 out of 4. So.
Do we put that on the web? Do we make that publicly known that we have, for the 4th year in a row, received financial recognition?
I can put a copy of this report on the website, yes, on the financial area.
Mike, I think that's important, right?
We'll task Dr. Skinkis with looking in how we can put that out there.
We can put it on the webpage under our board, or we could also do.
Well, this doesn't say,
Put in your report.
this doesn't
Put
say,
it
Put it on the front one with a little logo, financial recognition.
Put
Yeah.
it in the newsletter.
yeah.
I mean, because the districts, people think we're spending so much money, but, I mean, we have done fantastic financially.
Tim will
Any,
submit this with a brief explanation for Mary Ann for the newsletter.
Yes.
Okay.
any questions that we didn't already cover?
So
What about the loan? Are we gonna wait, it's later on?
it's
Yeah,
gonna be on under
Sorry.
new business.
I can cover that now. We've had loans to the education fund transportation fund, IMREV, all those loans were paid back when we received the tax dollars. This is money that we have to loan from working cash into transportation, and it's just to cover us for the next couple of months until we either start receiving more reimbursements from the state or property taxes.
Do we do that every year?
We have to.
Yes, pretty much.
And we have
But
to
this-
vote on this, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we'll vote
Yeah.
under new business.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
But this is also,
It's okay.
if you remember, last year when we did the levy, we adjusted the levy to put more money into
Right.
transportation so that we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for that, this section?
No.